Hey everybody, welcome back to another video with Gem Mint Masters. The day is finally here. We have a PSA reveal for this channel. This is brutal, I gotta say, with PSA, man. I think I now have like 13 orders there. It is, and I finally got one back. I'll throw it up on the screen, kind of how you can, so you can see how long this one took. This, and the funniest part is this isn't even the oldest one I have there. It's like they skipped my oldest one and sent me this one. So that one is finally graded, so I should have that within 3 to 5 days, maybe, hopefully. But I'm just happy to finally have something back. These next 3 or 4 orders are all football, or mostly football at least, because I'm really trying to stock up on football for the season. I gotta say, anybody trying to submit stuff now and get it back before the season, it's gonna be tough. These cards took 3+ months, and I think in the one case, almost 4 months. So, yeah, good luck to anybody submitting. It's tough. Hopefully they can kind of pick it up a little bit. These 4, I think I have 4 orders coming back that were all submitted within like a month of each other. So the ones that were sent a month after the first one, the 4th one, is coming back around the same time. So maybe they're picking up their pace. I don't know. But anyway, I'm excited to show these orders. So we'll get through this one. Like I said, it's mostly football. I'll explain kind of the types of cards that I'm subbing. I see a lot of people on Facebook groups and forums asking like, what are the best cards to submit? There's a ton of cards out there nowadays, and if you want to make some money, you definitely got to pick the right ones. And getting a 9 that is going to lose you money is tough. It's a tough pill to swallow. You want to get all 10s, but that's not reality either. So, all right, anyway, let's go ahead and get through this. Got a whole bunch of football, like I said. I think there's some basketball mixed in, but mostly football. All right, so I got a lot of 2023 Optic. I just think there's a ton of value in this set. This particular card, I'm a little bummed it didn't come back a 10. This is Sam Laporta Flex out of 149. So kind of a low-numbered parallel. Paid probably more than I would have liked to on this one. So this one isn't going to be the best one for us, but super cool-looking card. Hopefully as the season gets closer, hype will build. This one, maybe I'll be able to make a little bit of that back. But I will say right now, I don't plan on selling any of these until July. And I'm going to sell all of them in July. I just happen to be doing a show right in the middle of the month, which is when the preseason hype really kind of hits its peak. So this will be perfect timing. So this, the values I put up on the screen could be a little bit different for something like that. All right, next one here, nice PSA 10. We got a blue Bijan Robinson 2023 Optic. I will say too, it's a little tricky on some of these too. Like, I know that these are the right cards to pick, but when I'm running these comps and there are no comps, it's a little difficult. It's a little difficult to kind of judge what the value is. So be careful when you're doing this. Don't underprice your cards for sure. Try to find something of equal value. Like in this example, there's not a lot of these out there. This is numbered to, 199. So you're not going to see a ton of comps on this. Look for another player, maybe same parallel. A player that's kind of on the same level as Bijan, like I don't know, maybe a Sam Laporta, Jordan Addison, somebody from that class that you think kind of has the same market, same value, and base it on there. So some of these are going to be my best guess based on logic like that. But this is a cool one. Excited to have that one. I've got a whole bunch of Bijan Robinsons I've graded. I think I might have 1 or 2 more in this one too. All right, next one here, kind of a lower end card, but I'm glad it came back at 10. Brock Bowers on the pink. You're going to see a ton of these in the market. People ripped Donruss this year like madmen, and there's a lot of these pinks coming out. This is the most common of the Optic preview out of Donruss, but still some good value in it. Again, if you can get a 10, but if you're getting a 9 or something, that's where it's going to hurt you a little bit. These are pretty cheap to buy raw now too, so if you want to even just move them raw, it's probably a good move. But again, I wouldn't sell until July or so. Actually, I should probably separate these out. We got 9s and then 10s here. All right. Next one here, definitely a little bummed about this. Brian Thomas Jr. Silver Prism. You'll see it up on the screen, but man, this particular card, for some reason, that's something in the case. That's kind of weird. Has a really low gem rate. So I don't know if this particular Brian Thomas card just came out bad, but I didn't really see anything wrong with it. I think maybe there were some like print line type of issues on the back, but you know, otherwise I thought it looked pretty good. So yeah, this is a weird one. Super low gem rate. If you look at the prism from this year, I think you probably heard a lot of people say that the gem rates aren't that great. They aren't, but they also are on some cards. It really just depends, but just be selective on the card, and you can't go in with some kind of preconceived notion that all prism is just going to grade terribly, because that's not the case, and I think you'll see from some of these cards in here. All right, next card here, definitely bummed again. I didn't see anything wrong with this. Super cool pink Velocity out of 79. But this is a really good example of a card you can pick up for fairly cheap. Hopefully do okay on even something like a 9. But again, really tough to gauge the value because you're not going to have a lot of comps to base it off of. So again, I'm just kind of using my best guess on this. But super cool card, very rare. You're not going to see a lot of these. If you're running a show or something like that, it's pretty rare you're going to have competition for this particular card as well. So that will also buy you a little bit of leverage. Alrighty, next one here. We got another Bijan. This time we got the orange. I did really well with the Bijans this time. This is a 10. And this one's out of 249. Here's a weird fact, and you'll probably see it based on the numbers I throw up on the screen. The gem rate on this is lower than is it lower? Yeah, whatever it is, you'll see it on the screen. It's either a lot lower or a lot higher than the blue, which is a lower numbered card. So this one is actually more valuable. So based on the comps. So again, I'm basing it on the comps. This one sells for either right about the same or more, which is odd. So, but hey, I mean, that's just the way the market is, especially on some of these shorter print cards. I've started paying a lot of attention to gem rates because that really does drive the market value a lot. So if something has a super low gem rate or super high gem rate, you can expect, let's say super high gem rate, you're going to expect to see a ton of those cards out there. So a lot of competition, a lot of people going after the same cards, so that'll drive the prices down. Super low gem rates will do the opposite, drive the prices up. So just check that out. It's definitely a fun stat to check out when you're selling stuff, because it'll give you a good idea of how you can do. Next one here. I'm not one to submit base cards, but I put 2 of these in here, and I am happy with the results. Gem Mint 10 on the Jayden Daniels. If you heard the crazy story when this first came out, somebody sold one of these for a couple $1,000, which is insane. These are going for like under 100 now. But this is the only reason I even submitted these. I did rip a good amount of Prism this year, and I pulled a whole bunch of base Jayden Daniels. I pulled out the 2 best ones, which are in this order. So you'll see those, and those are the only 2 I submitted. I just sold the rest raw. Kind of wanted to test it out and see like if I could locate the most perfect copies I had, how would I do? So far so good. We got a 10, so that's a pretty solid return on that one. This next card, man, this is a frustrating card, I will tell you. This is, I think, my 4th one I've submitted of this. I had already submitted this before I got my last order back, which I actually did get a PSA 10 of this in that last order, and I'm happy. That one's going in my PC. I'm an Anthony Edwards collector. But now I've gotten, I think this is my 4th, so I've gotten 3 8s and a 10. So 8 is pretty standard for this card for some reason. There's all kinds of weird stuff going on in the pattern here. You can see like up in here, it's like under the surface, but then when you shine it here, I mean, all the lines in the wave pattern look great. But it's almost like it's something underneath the surface that's causing, I can only guess, it's causing the lower grades. But I'm done submitting these. I got my 10, I'm good. I just happened, like I said, I submitted that one before, kind of hoping one of them come back at 10. So that is a card I'm going to stay far away from. Super hard to gem, really low pop, but good amount of value. So that I'm excited about. This next one I'm definitely excited about. Picked this up for what I thought was kind of a steal. I think I got this for around $40 on eBay. This is the Optic Preview Purple, and these only come out of the hobby boxes. Marvin Harrison Jr., super low numbered out of 50. So this is actually a pop 1 right now. I think there's a few PSA 9s, but this is the only PSA 10. So I'm definitely happy about this. This is going to be one, I'll throw a value up on the screen, but this is going to be one that's a little tricky because, again, I don't have an exact comp on this. I'm going to shoot for the stars on this one and just kind of see what kind of feedback I get. And then we'll kind of dictate the value from here. But again, this is a pop 1. So in a lot of times when you see that, if this was like a Jayden Daniels or something, man, I could really shoot for the moon. But Marvin Harrison Jr. still a good player. But you know, start high and just see what kind of feedback you get on the and offers and stuff like that. But it's a pop 1, so I'm not gonna have any competition on that one. All right, this one here has been one of my favorite cards to sub. These die cut field level 2020 select. You can get these for nothing, 20 bucks or less. I think I have a Justin Herbert. It's either in this order, or it might be in a different order actually. Take that back now. But man, historically, I don't think I've ever gotten a 9 on any of these. I've gotten all PSA 10s on these. So I'm going to continue to submit these. Not super valuable cards, but you know, like 80 to 100 bucks on a card you can pick up for 20. It's a nice little return, and the quality control on these was really good. Like I said, I haven't had any issues. I mean, when you're looking over them, if you see something that's glaringly obvious, like some kind of defect, I'll just say I do know that sometimes on these back edges here, because these die cuts, you can see them curled a little bit. If you see that, I would stay away from it. But this one looked good. Subbed it. Got a nice one there. This one here, pretty excited about this as well. Jared Goff, Purple Optic 2016. I actually ripped some packs just for fun. I bought a couple pretty nicely low-priced hanger boxes from 2016. There's a lot of good rookies in that class. You got Derrick Henry, Dak, and a few other guys. Jared Goff, obviously. But you can have a nice cheap rip and hopefully get something. I got this out of there. This looked immaculate to me. Came back, got the 10. I'm excited. Made that rip worth it. I just wanted to rip those and just see. I never ripped them in 2016 because I wasn't even really in the hobby at the time. So I thought it'd be kind of fun. So our 10 stack is building nice. Got another one here. Got a PSA 9. This is an example of a card that's not going to do too well in a 9. I did rip this out of a pack. I thought it looked good. But man, Prism is tough. It's just really tough this year. I was pretty meticulous on the stuff I sent, and I only sent it if I thought the centering especially looked really good, because that's where a lot of the main issues were. So this one unfortunately got a 9, so that one will go up for sale. That's going to be a little bit of a loser, and probably similar to this next one. This one in a PSA 10 goes for a decent amount. Got the Blue Scope Optic Preview, Michael Penix. I thought it looked great. I don't really know what's wrong with it, to be honest. But that one got a 9 as well. And but luckily, I pulled this out of a pack. If I would have bought it raw, it's probably a much bigger loser. But that one will be up for sale as well. This next one here, pretty excited about. Got a Downtown. This is my first Downtown I've ever pulled out of Donruss. I honestly thought this was going to get a 10, but I see a lot of people getting 9s on these. And the nice thing about this particular card, and these are obviously some of the most popular cards in the market right now. This PSA 9 goes for like almost double the raw price. So I could be off on that. It goes for more than the raw price, let's just say that. But a lot of cards, it's the opposite effect. If it's a 9, it's basically the raw price. I think with these Downtowns, it's around a PSA 8 is the raw price. So this one should still do nicely. It's selling in the $400+ range. Pulled it out of a pack. It's going to make up for all the probably mistake rips that I did. Trying to get away from ripping. I just feel like singles is way better way to go. But I love to rip every once in a while. It's kind of fun. So next one here was a really cool card I picked up. Was hoping for a little bit better results on this, but this is still a really nice one too. Should still command a nice, premium around the $75 to $100 range in a PSA 9. Again, I'll wait until closer to the season, but if you've seen the comp up here now, that's pretty much today's market. So if there's room to grow there, then it's not so bad of a proposition on a card like this. But These ones are also kind of notorious. It's hard to gauge the centering sometimes on these. But you can look at the checkerboard pattern, like on the right and the left, they look almost like they're the same, but there's kind of a thinner checkerboard over here, and then this one's a little bit thicker, but I thought it still looked good and within tolerance. So it could be something else, dropping this one to a 9, but still a really cool card. Again, I think kind of in a nutshell, what I'll say is if you're planning on, grading and selling cards like this, like try to go after the kind of more obscure ones. This Anthony Edwards Red Wave is a great example. It's a great example, but a bad example because it is hard to gem. But if you can gem that, there's not a lot of these out there, but there's a heck of a lot of the hollows, Purple Shock, the pink, Pink Hyper, whatever it is. Those things are flooding the market. So if you want to be a little bit more unique, spend a few more dollars and, make up for it in spades on the return, then go for cards like that. Go for checkerboards. Go for, kind of higher numbered cards in the $2.99 range or something, because there's always a limit on the cap of the amount of those that can get out there. This one is kind of cool. This is a super cheap card you can get raw today. Jason Tatum, obviously one of the NBA's best players. I mean, you can pick this card up for $20 all day, every day. Goes for about 100 on a normal day. But with the playoffs just here, if he would have gone farther, this probably would have seen a little bit of a spike. But $100 on a card like this that you're paying $20, still not a bad deal. And like I said, to get a Jason Tatum rookie in a PSA 10, you can get this super cheap. That's a fun one to grade. The pop counts are pretty high, but again, you can still get a nice return on that. Next one here. This has dropped in value, I would say, quite a bit. You'll see from the comps on the screen, but Bonix, Optic Preview Red Wave, just any of these Optic Previews, the amount of Optic football and Donruss football that has been ripped this year is just off the charts. So pop counts are continuing to climb, but again, if you've got cards now, I would wait a little bit and I would sell them during a little bit more of the football hype. You'll make up a little bit of that shortcoming and get some of that back. But just be careful again in the types of cards that you submit. You want to find the ones that other people don't have, but in a lot of cases it's hard to do that. But one way, even if it's like a more common parallel, just look at the gem rates again. If it's a super low gem rate and you've got a PSA 10, then by nature you're kind of you're providing something that's not available in the market. And this right here is a great example. I pulled this out of a pack, actually. Got pretty lucky out of I think a hanger box. Drake May Silver Prism. Super low gem rate on this one, in the 20s, I believe. But again, I'll put that up on the screen. And this is going for like $400 to $500 right now, which is crazy. I didn't even realize that it was going for that much, but my plan, again, is still to hold it up until July, right before the season. If these gem rates continue to stay the way they are, even if they go up a little bit, I still think this should hold value. But that was a pretty sweet one. I was excited to have that one in a PSA 10. Not a lot of those out there right now. Won't spend too much time on this. Our second Jayden Daniels, and we got 2 PSA 10s. Like I said, I think I had about 5 or 6 of these, and I only sent 2. I picked out the 2 best looking ones, and they did just fine. Not a super high dollar card, but a fun one nonetheless. All right, 2 more cards here. Nice Jordan Love Optic Hollow rookie 2020. I'll go as far back pretty safely on cards back to about 2020 raw to grade, because the thing I've said all along is that sometimes it's hard to find really good copies of cards because they've just been sitting around forever, going in and out of cases, in and out of ownership. People are just they're causing defects like surface scratches to the cards because they're just changing hands so often. But there's still a lot of good stuff out there. I get a lot of my cards, if not most of them, on eBay and card shows, and I've had really good results getting PSA 10s. So hope is not dead. There's plenty of stuff out there that you can get raw and grade it yourself. Just be selective. I've tried to make it a point to go to a lot more shows than and buy a lot more stuff that way than eBay, because I can see and feel the card in person. I can look at the surface really closely. And I think, you know, if you're looking to improve your gem rates, make a little, you know, side business or whatever out of this, that's the way to do it. So that one's pretty cool. Excited about that one. All right, last card. This was actually an eBay pickup for pretty cheap. I love these Teal Velocities, man. These are really cool. SSP. I can't remember exactly where these came out of, if they came out of multiple configurations, but I think they did come in the, I want to say the hanger pack, or not hanger packs, what do you call those? The value packs, where the green velocities, but you'll every once in a while get a teal velocity. These are really hard to get, but the fact that you can get these for so cheap buying singles is pretty cool. And if you look at some of my earlier videos, I got quite a few of these. So that's pretty awesome. And this one got a 10, so I'm excited about that. Have had really good results again on this 2023 optic, and especially these Teal Velocities. High quality control on these kind of shorter print cards like this. So, you know, you can kind of expect that. And have not seen a lot of like print lines or anything like that. Centering is usually really good. So buy these with confidence. This is a fun parallel to go chase, and I think these are mightily overlooked. People just, they don't really understand the value for some reason on these Teal Velocities, and they command quite a bit higher price than like your green Velocities and any of the other parallels. Because again, these are SSP, so pretty awesome. So anyway, finally got an order back. We did really well on this one. You can see our stacks. We've got, we'll compare the 10s to the 9s. We did really well on this one. I think we're in the 60-something% range, and we just got 1 8. So 10s, some 9s, and an 8. So I'm happy with that. And the other thing too, I'll just say before we go, when you're looking at the gem rates before you go here, kind of set a target for yourself. If the cards you've submitted are gemming at a 60% rate, then that should be your target. I've always kind of said rule of thumb for me was 50-50, but I'm up in my game a little bit now because I want to challenge myself. And again, if cards are gemming at a higher rate, then you should get those rates. You should be gemming at, you know, 60-70% of your cards that you're submitting are, because it's just simple math, and it's not that hard to do it. But again, just be selective in the ones you're doing. As long as you look them over closely. You know, the 4 categories: centering, surface, corners, and edges. Again, submit with confidence. So anyway, thanks again for joining me. More videos to come. We'll have a few more reveals next week. Definitely pumped. We got some cards coming back finally. But drop a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next reveal. Thanks.